Welcome to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. Get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and connected to the miraculous energy of unconditional love that I call Mother Mary. If you're a highly sensitive, highly creative entrepreneur or light worker, and you want to magnify your impact and your intuition, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Reverend Frances Faden, interfaith minister, intuitive coach, and author of Meditation is Friendship with God. I can't wait to share miraculous stories, books, meditations, messages, and interviews with other miraculous light workers just like you. Are you ready to magnify your miracles? What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Hello, my miraculous friend. This is Reverend Frances Faden, and I just wanted to jump on quickly before this episode begins to let you know some amazing news, which is that my store is finally up. That means that you can now find your favorite meditations from the podcast. I've had them edited down so you don't have to go through all the beginning and everything. The 4 most popular ones are now available on my store, and I'm going to be adding more to those as time goes on. So you can go to francesfaden.com/store, and they're there for you. You can purchase them and have them with you, and you don't have to listen to the beginning and end of the podcast. And these are the most popular ones. And again, I will be adding to these, and I'm going to be recording ones specifically just to be available on the store. So check it out. Let me know what you think, and thank you so, so much. Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Frances Faden, and I'm so grateful that we get to spend this time together helping you to magnify your miracles. You know, I was going to be talking about a really different topic. I had recorded it earlier in the week, but I got a download today, and Mother Mary asked me to share this with you about the big cosmic power shift that's happening over the next month or two, and it's going to be with us for many, many years. And so that's why I wanted to talk about it. So even if you're not listening right here, recording this in the month of March of 2023, this information is still going to be helpful for you for many, many years. But before we get into any of that, let's take a few deep breaths together. Just get ourselves grounded and centered. Breathing in the energy of expansion, breathing out whatever you no longer need. And knowing that whatever you need to hear to help you move forward in a powerful way is exactly what you're going to hear today. Let's take one more deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. Well, welcome once again, my friend. And as I said, I had a whole other episode recorded, ready to go on the topic of the healing path for women, the path of awakening for women. And I will release that at a different time, but Divine Mother really wanted me to do this because this one's a little bit more timely about what's going on right now. So first of all, I am not a professional astrologer. I always look to all the different things that are going on with spiritual holidays and cosmic events and all the different things because I'm an energy person and I'm always looking to read the energy. That's what I do. I do that when I'm working with my clients. I do that when I'm leading my events that I do. They're all energy based and I'm always looking at what's going on with the energy. And so Mother Mary brought it to my attention that in the month of March of 2023, there's a lot of shifting energy that's going on. And she wanted me to remind you, because a lot of people are saying scary things, that all of this energy is meant to bless you. It's meant to bless you. And if you work with it that way, then you will reap the blessings from the changes that are happening. But for some people, it could feel a little bit turbulent, especially if you're in the energy of resistance. And as an energy practitioner, that's the most important thing that I do, is I help people get out of resistance, because I know that your miracle's already here. So if we can get out of resistance in whatever way that might be, then things can start to flow. And there's a lot of energy that's changing. So at the time of this recording, we've already had the planet Saturn change signs. Saturn was in Aquarius for a couple years, and now it's moving into the energy of Pisces. And so there's that shift that's happening. And if you're a highly sensitive person, you're going to feel that vibration, especially because Pisces itself is a very sensitive sign. And so we have the energy of Saturn, which is all about practicality and structure, putting form on things. My mentor likes to say it's the boots to the ground kind of an energy. In the sign of Pisces, which is all about spirituality and dreams and creativity and healing and mysticism and all that. So it puts a little form around it, which I think is great. For example, for myself, it's like time to write my book, or time to put some form around my teaching, or, whatever it might be. And it might be something like that for you, where you're going to be starting maybe a formal spiritual practice. Maybe you're actually going to start to meditate, or whatever it might be. That would be a really happy way that Saturn and Pisces can come together. It puts structure around things and can make them more tangible and practical. But we have a very special week coming up, and it's the week of March 20th. And I want to tell you about this because we have this energy in March, and we also have eclipses coming in April and May. So a lot of changing, shifting energy, and we want to make sure that you're grounded and able to receive this energy. So we have a very powerful, holy time coming the week of March 20th. And Mother Mary is calling this the big cosmic power shift, because a lot of it is about, it's about becoming empowered. It's about how are you using your power? Are you giving away your power? It's really letting you explore how power is showing up for you. So first of all, in the Northern Hemisphere, north and south, we have the Equinox Vibration happening on the 20th, depending upon where you are on the planet, 20th, 21st. But here in the north, where I am, it's happening on the 20th. And for me, it's a spring equinox. If you guys in the Southern Hemisphere are listening, then you guys have the autumn equinox. And so you're now headed towards your winter solstice, where we're going to be headed towards our summer solstice. So I'm going to mostly speak about what I know for me up here. Whenever we have the equinox vibration happening, and it only happens twice, it is a time for reflection where we ask ourselves, where are we feeling out of balance? Where do we need to come more into balance? Where can we cultivate more harmony in our lives? Okay. So just the fact that we have our equinox happening right then, we want to take a look at that. Where are we in or out of balance in our lives? And not that we're trying to achieve this perfect balance, because I don't think that that's a doable thing. The earth herself only achieves balance twice a year. So the whole rest of the time, she's going one way or the other. So I don't think we want to strive for perfect balance. I think it's better to strive for harmony, but we want to look and see, are there places in our lives that are way out of balance that need to come a little bit more to the middle, whatever that middle might be. And then on the 21st, we have the new moon in the sign of Aries, which is always auspicious. If you are an astrologer, a lot of times astrologers consider this the new year, the beginning of the astrological new year, because Aries is the first sign. But Aries is a sign that's very powerful, very dynamic. It likes to start things. It likes to initiate things. It likes to take action. And so that beautiful new moon is inviting you and asking you, what do you want to begin? What do you want to put your energy into? What's something that you can initiate? Is there a newness that can be happening for you? And so that energy is happening right after that equinox vibration, so close together that I feel like the earth and the cosmos itself is inviting you to really take a look at, where am I putting my energy? Where am I putting my energy? And then on the 23rd, the really big shift is happening. And again, not an astrologer, but I do listen to my own teachers. And the planet of Pluto, which is a very intense planet, and it is all about power and how are we using our power. And Pluto, which is the natural ruler of Scorpio, and if you know any Scorpios, very intense. Pluto wants to look underneath all the rocks. You know, when you were a kid and you used to look under the rock and you're like, ew, what's all that creepy crawly stuff that's on there? Yeah. Pluto wants to turn everything over so we can see it. It doesn't want anything to be hidden anymore. It wants things to be out in the open and exposed so it can be healed. This is how it's happening for us. And Pluto is what we call a generational planet. It's usually in a sign for like 19 years. So usually every 20 years or so is a generation, right? So we have this energy that was just in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is all about institutions and old traditional power structures and authority, all those kinds of things. And what have we seen in the last 20 years? What have we noticed? We have seen regimes fall. We have been made aware of abuses of power in churches and religious organizations, in traditional power structures, in government especially. We've seen where power has been abused, and we've also seen the ability and how we can heal that and what we want to do to heal some of those things. We're still in process. We're not done by any means, but that's what it was really showing us. It was showing us, we had in the financial institutions, all the traditional things that Capricorn rules. Pluto wanted us to see what's going on here. Well, now Pluto's going into Aquarius, and Aquarius is a sign of innovation, and it is a sign of humanity. So it wants power to the people. Pluto is going to want to see, how can power be made more equitable? How can everybody have access to the internet? How can everybody have access to clean water and clean air and all of that? How can everybody have access to what it is that they need? And how can technology be something that works for everybody? So this is really good news, in my opinion, for everybody who's working to help forward the planet, with climate change and different things like that. We're going to start to see a more unified way of doing things because Pluto is going to insist. And it's also going to show us where it's not. It's going to show us where technology and innovation is not being shared and where those abuses of power might be happening, which I think is happening as I speak, to be honest. Well, how does this affect you personally? Well, personally, you want to take a look at that for yourself as, where am I giving away my power? Where am I denying myself power? Where am I owning it and using it in a way that will not only benefit me and my world, but will benefit maybe the greater, the greater good? These are big questions. These aren't questions that we just answer, in a minute. These are things you're going to be thinking about. Now, Pluto's going to go into Aquarius. It's going to go back out for a little bit, and then it goes back in 100% for like 19 years next year in 2024. So it's going to still go back into Capricorn and clean up a little bit of the mess for a few months, and then it'll go back in for sure. But we are going to get this big influx of energy. And I think personally, the artificial intelligence that we've been seeing with people using AI to, write articles, I think that is a very Pluto in Aquarius type of thing, using technology in a really, innovative way. Is it going to be helpful? Is it going to not be helpful? Pluto is going to let us see what's going on there. But then we also have on the 24th, it is the feast day of Archangel Gabriel. And so here's what I do is I look at these big events that are happening in the cosmos. And then I look at some of the spiritual events that I know are happening. And I look to see, what is the message underneath the message? So here we have Archangel Gabriel, and he is the messenger of messengers. He is the archangel that if you're a messenger, if you're somebody who has a message that you're sharing with the world, you're very connected with his energy. He's the one that invites us to own our message and own our power. He's the one that invites us to a higher version of ourselves. And his feast day, smack right after the 23rd, where that energy is shifting. I don't think that's a coincidence. And then the next day, the 25th, is the Feast of the Annunciation, which is when Archangel Gabriel comes to Mother Mary and extends her the invitation to bring greater light into the world. Whatever your beliefs are, that's how I like to say it. He invited her to become the higher version of herself. He invited her to become a powerful channel of light on the planet. And Mother Mary wanted me to share this with you to say, This is the invitation that's happening for you right now. All this energy shifting. People can get scared and wonder about this and that and the stock market and all that. But I know that what's really happening is you are being invited. First of all, it's here to bless you. And second of all, you are being invited to utilize this healing power in whatever way is right for you. So a lot of healing energy available here. How can you allow yourself to be a more powerful version of yourself? Does it look like loving yourself more? Does it look like forgiving yourself more? Because that will free up your energy. And the more you free up your energy, the more power you have, right? It's like your wattage goes up. Does it look like acting on your creativity and following through on your commitments? For me, it's like, got to write that book, got to finish that book. Got to get it in your hands, right? Make it tangible. That's what Saturn is wanting. Get it in your hands, make it tangible. How are you not owning your power? Are you still really pulled by other people's opinions and what they think of you and what they might say? It's a big issue. I work with Mary Magdalene for that one. Mary Magdalene helps me let go of caring about the opinion of other people who I don't even know, people that are on the internet or whatever it might be. It's okay. I'm human, but Mary Magdalene's energy helps me say that's not important. What's important is that you trust yourself and you trust your own experience. And that's what's most important. So what are you being invited into, my friend? And the bigger question that Mother Mary wants me to ask you is, what are you going to say yes to? There's an invitation, a cosmic invitation right now, a big energy shift that's happening, and it's inviting you to say yes or no. You can say no, but I encourage you to say yes to something that matters to you, something that maybe you've been putting off, something connected to owning your power. So if you're what I like to call a soulpreneur or light worker, how can you say yes to being a greater channel? How can you say yes to being a more successful version of yourself? How can you say yes to be a more loving version of yourself? If you're somebody who is, maybe you're a parent, how can you say yes to being not perfect, but being more present, being more open, honest, whatever it might be. Now, I don't have an opinion about what it is to be a better parent. It's what it is for you. It's your heart that's telling you. It's your heart that's telling you. Now, all these planets are going to show up in your personal chart somewhere. And again, I'm not an astrologer, so I can't tell you. If you want to look it up, I highly recommend that you do get a little feedback. My mentor, Reverend Jane Howard Feldman, she's somebody who I really trust with this stuff, because if there's anyone who can tell you where a blessing is showing up in your life, it's definitely her. And so you could reach out to her. earthangelforpeace.com is her website, and ask her and say, hey, Reverend Jane, can you do a astrology reading for me and let me know what's going on with these big shifts that Reverend Francis said? Sure, you can do that. And in the meantime, what you can do is just decide for yourself. Take a look and do a little journaling and say, where have I been afraid to be powerful? Where have I been giving my power away? Where have I said yes when I wanted to say no? Where have I said no when I really wanted to say yes? Start simple. Start really simple. And then go from there. Because all of these energies are here to bless you. They're here to help you. They're here to support you. And then in April, we have these amazing eclipses that are going to be happening. I think it's April 20th and May 5th. And it's no coincidence that we have this huge eclipse happening on the 5-5 vibration. That's an Archangel Michael day. So, I'm looking at all these energies and I'm looking to see what's going on, but mostly I'm feeling into it. What's happening here? What is the message here? What are the energies? Mother Mary wants me to remind you that all of these things, it's like the cosmic weather report. It just gives you an idea of what's happening. But always remember that you are directly connected to the source that created all of it. So a lot of people give their power away to the planets. And I think that's a very Pluto and Aquarius thing. It's like, are you giving your power away to astrology or, whatever it might be, any system of belief? Even if it's a really cool one, you're giving your power away to that. Mother Mary shakes her head and says, don't do that. Look at it as the cosmic weather report, like, oh, looks a little cloudy. Maybe I'll bring my umbrella. And go, oh, look, energy is shifting. Maybe I'll meditate more. Maybe I'll pray more. Maybe I'll do a little bit more service. Maybe I'll give myself a little bit more downtime. That's how she's wanting you to respond to it, like a weather report. But, if you need to be out and about, you take your umbrella, you put your galoshes on or whatever they're called, and you go out and you do your thing. Similarly, don't let what's happening in the cosmos dictate anything to you, because you are connected to that which created the cosmos. You are that. You're directly connected to that. And this is why I'm such a big, big proponent of focusing on the love vibration, because the more you can be in that love vibration, the more you're going to remember that truth of like, oh yeah, I have this energy within me. I come from this energy. I am this energy. This is the energy that created all of this. So of course it's going to be a blessing for me. Absolutely. Why would it not? Why would it not? So my friend, on top of that, we also have, for those who celebrate Easter, we have Easter. For those who celebrate Passover, we have Passover. Such beautiful times. I want you to look at this time and ask yourself, how am I being blessed right now? This time period that I'm in, even if it looks scary, even if it looks like, what's happening? How am I being blessed right now? How is this a blessing? What is the message for me? And where could I start saying yes where I want to say yes, no where I want to say no? Where can I start to own my power as a light being on the planet? What does it look like for me? And then know that the universe will support you 100% in that. All right, my friend, that's what I wanted to share with you. If you did enjoy this episode, I would so appreciate it if you could share it with anybody you know who might be interested, who might benefit from it. If you could leave a review, that really helps me out. And as always, remember, my friend, the key to magnifying your miracles is to know your miracle is already here and you are loved more than you could possibly know. And with love, all things are possible. God bless you, my friend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. I'm so grateful to be able to spend this time with you. If you want even more inspiration, feel free to visit my website, francisfaden.com or magnifyyourmiracles.com. And if you did enjoy this episode, I would really appreciate it if you left a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever it is that you connect with awesome podcasts. Remember, the key to magnifying your miracles is remembering that your miracle is already here.